So the only thing that we can see right now is your screen. There is it says hand tight.
It
Nothing
says
is
hand tied.
nothing has been presented yet. Okay.
1 second, Maria. I have presented. 1 second, I'll
Okay.
unpresent
Now
and
now
present
it's
it
coming.
again.
Yeah. Now it's coming. Perfect. So Gus, pueden ver la pantalla. De hecho,
Should we wait for other people's
I
Eric
think so.
Voldemar?
I think so because let me see if can we add Waldemar
Yeah.
again and Eric?
Sure, sure, Mario.
So actually, we need to add Ronnie too, right?
Already added Mario.
Yeah, yeah, I see that it's being added. So Gus, aunque yo estoy haciendo una, okay, I think ready, Eric is there. Aunque yo estoy haciendo una grabación de esto y lo voy a publicar también. Nos avisa cuando empecemos, ¿ok? Estamos esperando por Waldemar y por Ronnie. Creo que Eric ya se unió.
Hola Mario, buenos días.
Buenos días, Eric. Bienvenido.
Buenos días a todos, gracias.
¿Podemos comenzar ya?
Sí, comencé.
Okay.
Sí, comencemos, Mario. Comencemos.
Perfecto. Let's start, Kid. I think I'm doing some recording that I'm gonna publish at the end, okay? So, in case that somebody misses it.
Sure, Mario. Sure.
I think Waldemar is online now, Kid. You can add it again. He's pinging me now.
I think you have to disconnect and add him again.
I'm not able to disconnect him.
Yeah, neither can I.
Yes.
Oh, I've added Voldemar again.
It seems like it's not working, eh?
Yeah, no, I think it went.
Oh, it went. Hola, Waldemar. Sí, está ahí. I think he's there.
Buenos días, buenos días.
Bienvenido, parceiro. Okay.
Gracias.
Okay, Kid. Let's roll. Start the presentation.
Sure, Mario. Where were we? Okay. So this is where we left off yesterday, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
We took one manifest. We updated the status to ready for pre-invoicing. And this was the one. We put in some numbers in here. Oops. Okay. Let's put in a number. Updated. Okay. All right. So this is done. Save it. All right. So this is the one where we left off, and just let me bring up the client request for that as well. Okay. So now the idea is, let me go to the pre-invoicing screen. I'm launching another browser instance.
Okay.
So let me first. So just a refresher as to what we had done for this client. So this was our client, and so this client belongs to a certain line of business, belongs to a certain market and things like that. And based on this, we created we can create a cycle filter. Okay, so
I think you should explain what is a cycle filter so people understand, Julian. Okay.
sure. Let me do that. Okay. Let's start from scratch. So we have the line of business, we have the market, we have the type. So let's create a cycle filter. Now another important factor to consider is the billing cycle. So this is what is the outcome of the discussion that we had the last time Aldo, Gustavo and everyone were in Chennai. And this was about being able to link the billing cycles to the pre-invoice generation itself. So the billing cycle will have a setup, and that billing cycle will be linked to the billing account. And we need to be able to pick up specific billing accounts and bill them, saying that, okay, for this billing account, I had these 100 manifests for the month. So let me go ahead and bill that and send that bill to the customer. So for that, one of the key important things is to define something known as a cycle filter. Okay. So, so this is how the pre-invoice screen will look like. The pre-invoice screen, let me load it once again. The pre-invoice screen will have a date picker. It will have a date picker where the user can select a date. After that, he can select a relevant cycle filter linked to that date, and then he will get to see the pre-invoices. We get to see the manifests for which we can generate a pre-invoice. But before that, let me jump to the cycle filters definition. So if you want to explain that, Mario, or should I do the cycle filters first and then you want to explain?
Actually, let me interject. Ok, so básicamente lo que está haciendo Julián aquí, ¿verdad? Es presentando la parte que tiene que ver con la fase de compilación en la parte de pre-invoice, ¿no? Esta pantalla que él tiene presentada aquí, este calendario, que si se dan cuenta tiene algunos días que están en negrita, o bueno, en azul fuerte en este caso, ¿no? Lo que significa es que para cada uno de esos días que está marcado ahí, existe una partición de la base de cliente que se necesita, o sea, está programado que debe de hacerse el billing. ¿Ok? O sea, el billing es como que cada cliente tiene un ciclo de factura asociado, ¿verdad? Entonces, eso es cada numerito de eso que está en bold. Quiere decir que existe data para este dropdown que él tiene aquí que se conoce como el ciclo de factura. Actually, Julian, if you can, I think there is if you can put that in Spanish so people understand it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay.
Entonces, ¿qué es lo que es un filtro de ciclo? Básicamente eso es configurable, es lo que va él a poner ahora a mostrar. Es básicamente una partición de la base de cliente. Básicamente hay diferentes dimensiones que se utiliza para crear una partición de la base de cliente. Eso es lo que va a demostrar él ahora. Entonces, básicamente cada día de eso que está marcado ahí en azul quiere decir que existe data para ese dropdown. O sea, que se debe de hacer el billing. Parece, o sea, se puede hacer antes, ¿verdad? Pero por lo menos por programa debe hacerse ese día. O sea, se pueden hacer tantas veces como se necesite, ¿verdad? Que es lo que pasa en México, ¿no? Que ellos hacen billing constantemente. Pero por un problema de ciclo, ese es el día que le toca, o sea, a ese conjunto de clientes que están determinados por esa partición. Cada partición está determinado por un valor de ese filtro de de ciclo, que le llamamos filtro de ciclo, ¿no? Y es lo que él va a explicar ahora en la sesión de configuración. Cómo se definen esos valores que aparecen ahí en el dropdown este que dice ciclo de filtros. So Julian, if you can explain briefly what is how the cycle filter is defined, and then come back to this, right?
Sure, Mari. So let's start. So the basic premise, the basic starting point is that there are a universe of clients that each Impresa has, that each legal entity has, and those clients are partitioned into groups which are billed on a regular basis. So we say there is a subset of clients which are billed on the 1st of the month. There is a subset of the clients which are billed on the 10th of the month. There is a subset of clients which are billed on the 20th of the month. So the way to create that subset is to go here and to select the cycle filters. So the cycle filters allows you to group clients into various partitions. The primary driver, the primary differentiator being the billing cycle itself, saying that, okay, I have clients which are billed on a billing cycle which is monthly starting on the 1st. So I create a cycle filter for them, or I have clients who are billed on a cycle which is on the 10th of the month, or I have a cycle on the 20th of the month, or things like that. So we created some cycle filters earlier. So just let me add a fresh one, and let me add one which exactly matches the client we created so that we are able to see the data properly. So I'm going to add a cycle filter. This is a brand new cycle filter. So let's call it demo set. Let's put it as industrial. Let's put it as private because that's what we defined our clients. We put our client as client type commercial. So let me put it as commercial. So we grouped this together. So if I put these together, I should get my client. Now, this is very important. The frequency of the bill generation. So this is the bill generation frequency, and this is the billing cycle frequency. They should match each other. So you say, okay, let's take it monthly. Let's take this also monthly starting the 15th. The reason I'm taking monthly starting on the 15th is because for this client, the billing account which is used is the monthly starting on the 15th. Mensual starting on 15th. So I'm selecting that one over here. I say that, okay, let me generate a bill for this customer on the 17th. So I give a 2-day gap and I start generating a bill for this client every time on the 17th. And I define, so this is another field which will define whether you want to put one manifest for, one pre-invoice for every manifest, or you want to put a bunch of manifests together and generate pre-invoices. So this is the cycle filter screen.
Okay, Julian, let me interject over here. So básicamente esta es la pantalla que Julián se estaba refiriendo, que es para crear las particiones de la base de clientes que tiene esa empresa que está seleccionada en el dropdown superior derecho. Entonces, una cosa importante aquí, si se dan cuenta, hay dos atributos separados para los ciclos de facturación. Un ciclo de facturación que pertenece a la empresa como tal, que es el proceso de operación de hacer la operación de billing, y el otro ciclo de facturación que es el del cliente, ¿verdad? Que es el ciclo que el cliente se le ha asignado, el ciclo de facturación. O sea, no tienen por qué ser iguales, generalmente se recomienda que sean iguales, ¿verdad? Pero se da la flexibilidad de que sean diferentes. A lo mejor por cualquier razón, por un problema organizativo, tiene que ser diferente. En este caso, por ejemplo, el cut-off period, ¿no? Sería el 15, el cut-off date sería el 15 para el cliente, pero sin embargo el billing se hace 2 días después, ¿verdad? Entonces se da esa flexibilidad precisamente para eso. O sea, la parte de arriba que dice bill, horario, frecuencia, que lógicamente eso hay que arreglarlo en el source file, es básicamente la frecuencia de generación del ciclo, o sea, de la generación de las prefacturas para estos clientes que están incluidos en esta partición. Y la de abajo es básicamente el ciclo de facturación, el cut-off date, ¿verdad? En dependencia del ciclo de facturación que tenga asignado el cliente. Y bueno, el otro campo que tiene aquí es para si el cliente quiere tener una factura por cada uno de los manifiestos o quiere básicamente agrupar todos los manifiestos que pertenecen a ese ciclo, a ese periodo de ese ciclo de facturación en un solo pre-invoice, en una sola prefactura. Y los otros atributos son atributos que es lo que le llamamos las dimensiones, ¿no? Que básicamente para decir, ok, esta línea de negocio es para segmentar, para particionar el universo de clientes que tiene esta entidad legal que está seleccionada en el tratado superior derecho.
Mario, una pregunta.
Sí, adelante.
En el caso de esos servicios puntuales que sean ad hoc, o sea, llama un cliente, pide un servicio y hay que facturárselo. Ese cliente, ¿cómo fue pensado el ciclo de facturación para los servicios que son ad hoc?
Perfecto. Sí, servicios que no tienen realmente un ciclo de factura, sino que se cobran, como decirte, inmediatamente que pasan, ¿no?
Exactamente.
Perfecto, muy buena pregunta. Sí. Déjame preguntarle a Julián para que él mismo te responda. So, Julian, the question from Gustavo is very important, right? You know, there are some clients, there are a number of clients that really you don't have, I mean, they're basically very unusual. I mean, it's not a very regular client, right? They just come and they are always served in an ad hoc manner. So they are basically billed by service, you know?
Okay.
So how are we contemplating this? That's the question from Gustavo.
Correct. So if that particular client has a manifest, then it will generate a pre-invoice. If it doesn't have a manifest, there is no pre-invoice. So it's all driven by the availability of manifests.
Yeah, but
so if there is a manifest to be built, that's going to be available.
Yeah, but the question from Gustavo is those clients, for example, they are not regular clients, right? They are basically clients that come once a month, you know, and there is no regularity. How are we including those clients in any of those partitions that we have over here to do the billing?
Correct. So they are still clients in the system, right?
Yes.
They are clients in the system and they will have a manifest.
Yes.
So if they have a manifest, then it will appear in the pre-invoice screen. If they don't have a manifest, they will not appear in the pre-invoice screen. So it's all driven by the manifests which are available.
So in other words, those clients, they won't be driven by those cycle filters that we have over here, right?
Will be driven by those cycles, but they will be by the cycle.
I think we lost you there. Okay, let me ask the question in a different way. What would be the cycle, the billing cycle associated to those clients? What would be the billing cycle associated to those clients?
Your voice is not coming to life.
Yeah, so now it's
Can you hear me now, Mario?
This is the connection is down now. Yeah, we can hear you, but it sounds far.
Hello?
Far. Okay, now it's better.
Okay. Now, okay. So what I'm saying, Mario, is that the availability of the manifest will drive the generation of the pre-invoice. Let me show you. Let me show you this as an example, and then probably it will become very clear.
Perfect.
So
I'm gonna tell Gustavo to hold that thought, you know, because we're gonna
correct.
show.
I'll show him live on the screen, and then we can see it.
So Gus, vamos a esperar a que él regrese a la pantalla de compilación y él va a explicar con un ejemplo, va a ser mucho más claro con una demostración. ¿Okay? La pregunta que tú acabas de hacer es muy importante. Okay.
Perfecto, Mario.
Okay, Julian. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
Yes, continue.
No stress. So if this part is clear, I'm going to go ahead and save this, Mario.
Okay, perfect.
So we saved it. This is our filter set. And let me go back to it. So we've put it for the 17th. So this is very crucial. Let me go ahead and duplicate the screen. So if I go to my pre-invoice screen. I'm going to my pre-invoice screen. When I go to the 17th, you see this highlighted over here?
Yeah.
This was not highlighted before.
Yeah.
It is highlighted only on the basis of this definition. So let me change that and show you. So let me change it. So now you see the 16th is not highlighted. So let me change it to the 16th.
So lo que está demostrando es que en dependencia, él va a dependencia de que exista al menos un valor de filtro de ciclo, es que se va a hacer el highlighting del día en el calendario.
So I changed it from 17 to 16. Now I'll refresh the screen and we should be able to see this for the 16th. So you see that changed from 17 to 16th over here.
You click in 16, you see the value there.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. So when I go to the 16th, so what it's basically saying is that for this bunch of clients, for this partition of clients, I am going to generate a bill on the 16th of every month. So if I go to 16th of September, I will have it. If I go to 16th of August, I will have it, and things like that. So every 16th, I will have this thing generated. In the past, of course. I cannot go and generate a bill for the future date, right? It doesn't make any sense. So for whatever has happened, I'm going to generate a bill in the. So once you select 16th, you put the remove filter set. I selected it. So as a help, this is a help area. The same thing what is defined in the cycle filters will appear as read-only text over here, so that the user doesn't have to toggle back to that screen and wonder what he has set up over there.
Exacto. So esta parte de aquí que ven abajo que es solamente para ver, o sea, no hay posibilidad de editar. Esto fue lo que se cambió basado en la conversación de Chinay, ¿no? O sea, con Chinay, recuerda que había cantidad de controles aquí, ¿no? Que se hacía extremadamente engorroso. Entonces, esto ahora, esa permutación de esos controles, ¿no? Se hace ahora por configuración y básicamente aquí lo que se pone es, ok, esta es la data de las dimensiones que se corresponden con esa partición determinada por ese valor del filtro de ciclo. Básicamente lo que... Y si te das cuenta, 16, que es el día, ¿no? Se repite en cada uno de los meses, o sea, porque es la regularidad, el ciclo de factura desde el punto de vista de operación, desde el punto de vista de la empresa que está haciendo la operación como tal de facturar. Ok, Julian.
Okay, now let's go through the, okay, so let's go to this control, Mario. So this control talks about up to what date you want to include manifest to be billed. So it says that you want to include manifest up to the 15th of the month which you want to bill. And so this is the end date basically. And what is the start date? From which date are you going to generate manifest? Now, so the start date for that is the last time you generated a manifest for this filter set. So last time you generated a pre-invoice. Last time you generated a pre-invoice, not a manifest. Pre-invoice for this filter set. So we have just defaulted it to the 1st of January 2015 since this is a fresh thing which we are creating from scratch. So any manifest from the last time it is generated. So watch out to this date. I'll show you the importance of this date once we finish the end of the generation, Mario. So it says that between the last time you generated the pre-invoice until what date you want to include. So since we have put this as a 15th, this 15th will come over here by default. The user can change it. He can put it as whatever date he wants. But by default, he will get the date which is defined in the billing cycle. So from this date to this date, it will fetch all the manifests which are there for this particular client. So this date is very, very crucial. So we'll see the importance of this. Mario, do you want to explain that or should I proceed?
No,
Mario?
So Julian, basically this field, right?
Mm-hmm.
This field is to give them the flexibility, right? To go.
Yes.
By default, it's gonna be the initial of the of the period for this cycle, right?
It's going to be the end date of the cycle, Mario. Correct. You're generating a bill up to the 15th, till 15th of October, because your cycle ends on the 15th. So it will take the bills one day before this, till the 14th of October.
I'm trying to explain the concept, right? So
Right. So
this
what
in
is the
case
so
you
what?
want to include after. That's what you're saying?
Aha, yes,
Okay,
yes,
it's
yes,
after.
yes, 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 yes. In case, or even if you don't want to generate, what if you say, I just want to generate it for half a cycle? That's also fine. You understand? I don't want to generate it for up to the 15th. I want to do it for
You want to do a
half.
partial.
Ah, yes. That is why this partial has come here. Yes, 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 yes. Now you get that? That is the flexibility that the system gives you. That's the flexibility that the system gives you.
So, este atributo que le está marcando ahora es para permitir la posibilidad de hacer facturas parciales para el mismo periodo en un ciclo determinado. Es básicamente permitir cuál es el cut-off, o sea, manipular cuál es el cut-off date afuera de lo que realmente el ciclo dicta, ¿no? Para tener esa flexibilidad. Tal vez el cliente quiere que le hagan 2 facturas en el mes, ¿no? Aunque por un problema que tal vez tenga, ¿no? Y entonces se da la flexibilidad a través de este atributo que está aquí. Ok, Julian.
So
Now, Julian, let's not forget about the question from Gustavo, okay? At some point, let's
right.
to address that.
Okay, we have a small issue here, Mario, with the date format. I think we have a small issue which we're not able to resolve. So I'll just switch to English. It's working in English. Something about the MMDDYY and something about that. That is, we are working on resolving it. Oops. Just give me 2 minutes, Mario. I think I have not faced this error before. We were getting it fine.
Okay. Vamos a esperar un minuto, amigos, okay?
Okay, I think there is a small issue with that. 1 second, Mario. Just let me go to that screen. Okay, I think we have a small issue with the resources which get added to a route. This defect we have on the resources. Just let me check what is entered in the manifest. Okay. Okay, I think there's some small bug with the okay, there is a small bug, Mario, with the when you put resources in the manifest, it gives some issue. So let me take a manifest which doesn't have resources. I think we should be fine with that one. So okay, this is creating some bug. Sorry for that. Let me take another cycle filter, Mario, something which I have worked on before. So just changing this for demo purposes.
Just tear down the section completely,
Yeah. Yeah, Mario. Just one second.
Down the section and start from scratch.
Sure, Mario. Sure. If you can give me a minute, I'll create something for that same client which doesn't have the routing data in it. So it works for those clients where you don't have the resources in there. I think the resources is creating some issue which we have to resolve. If it's a pure waste type or a pure product, it works fine. It's those comma separated values in the resources which tends to create an issue sometimes. So just give me a minute, Mario.
Dispensen la reintroducción, vamos a esperar un momentico, parece que hay algún problema con ese manifiesto que se está tomando como ejemplo. Creo que se está resolviendo en este momento, ¿ok? O sea, existe un bug en la aplicación en estos momentos.
Okay. Mario, I can show it to you for another client. I think there's some issue with that particular data which was entered. So actually there is a bug in there which doesn't save the comma separated values properly. So I can show it to you for a different client. Let's go with the functionality that we are expecting for the system to work with. So the idea being that once the search filters are run, then we will get the manifest for that client billed as per the billing account. That is the whole expectation over here. So each manifest that is included, all the manifests that are included for that client will be included for that particular pre-invoice generation cycle. So let me show you the data for this one. So this is a client I had created earlier. Okay, so let me pick up another client, Mario. Let me show you the data for that other client and then we can proceed. So, okay, so this is another client which we had created earlier, very similar to this one. This is client code number 7 and this client has got the line of business industrial, corporate and industries. And we had a billing account which is similar. It had a billing cycle and a billing filter. So based on that, we had created a billing cycle filters for the 15th of the month for this particular client. And when you run that on the 15th, you'll be able to see industrial, corporate, partial billing cycles, etc. for this client. When you search for that, you'll be able to see the manifest for this client. That is this one, which is ready for pre-invoice over here. This was created yesterday and that is the record. So if a pre-invoice, if a manifest is ready for pre-invoice, it will appear in the screen as a record over here. But if you can just explain that for 5 minutes, I'll come back. I'll just check if we can put some valid data and show them for the other client.
I mean, if we can continue with this client that has the that has no issues, Julian, that's fine too. Okay.
That's fine.
In the
Okay, Mario.
meantime, let me
So,
explain to them what you did right now. So, Julián,
sure.
básicamente, parece que existe algún problema con el otro cliente que él estaba usando como ejemplo, ¿verdad? Entonces, él básicamente lo que hizo fue cambiar de cliente, ¿verdad? Y lógicamente este es uno de los tests que él ha hecho. Esto es básicamente una vez que se corre el filtro, es una vez que se escoge ese ciclo de filtro, ¿verdad? Entonces abajo en la grilla lo que van a aparecer son las potenciales prefacturas que van a aparecer. Entonces, cuando haces clic en cada una de esas prefacturas potenciales, va a aparecer esta ventana donde se va a listar cada uno de los manifiestos, ¿verdad? Y la contribución en dinero que hace cada uno de los manifiestos a la prefactura como tal. Entonces aquí se da la opción de que el cliente, o sea, de que el usuario del sistema quite, ¿verdad? Manifiestos que están incluidos en ese periodo para ese ciclo de factura, ¿verdad? Y eso se da la opción precisamente porque por lo menos en Chile existe la necesidad de hacer este tipo de ajustes, porque muchas veces los clientes llaman y dicen, no, no tengo suficiente dinero para este mes y si me pudieras pasar algunos manifiestos para el mes que viene. Esta es la flexibilidad que se está dando. Entonces aquí, en dependencia de los valores que se quiten, ¿verdad? Se ajusta el valor, automáticamente se ajusta el valor total. El valor total arriba se ajusta. Julian, something that I see here that is the manifesting zeros. I don't know where they're being listed in there.
I'll show you that. I'll explain that. So that's what the explanation on top says, Mario. We'll explain to you.
Perfect.
I'll explain that. So, okay. So do you want me to continue with this or do you want me to create a fresh contract and show it to them quickly?
I think we should continue because
So
otherwise we're going to lose the train of thought, you know. Let's
Sure,
continue with
sure.
this
So,
client that you have already tested, you know, and
okay.
let's find out why we're having
So,
these issues later.
yeah. I know the reason, Mario, that the reason is that for that particular client, when we had defined the contract, we had put the resources in there. So that resource pricing has an issue with the comma separated value, and that is something which we detected last night. I think that is the one which is causing an issue. So this comma separated value is creating a problem. So if we remove it, it will probably not create an issue. Anyways, so this other client which I have, doesn't have that issue. So this is the other client. This is the other client, that is this one, client number 7. And this is their billing account. This is the manifest which we are going to consider, Mario. So this is the manifest. It has this data. This is the data in here. And for that manifest, this is the record which has come. So that is one manifest, and there are many other manifests, so 46 and things like that. So the idea is that for a client, for a billing account, for the period selected, so the period selected is from this date, the last time the manifest was generated to this date, we get a manifest count, and the amounts for each of the manifests are shown here. Now, the amounts which are shown here are the ones which are shown for the algorithms which are at the manifest level and not for the algorithms which are at a billing cycle level. So that's what we have put as a note here, that they will be 0 at the manifest level and they will only be calculated for the billing. So actually this is only the manifest amount. So this plus this will equal to this amount over here. It will not equal to this amount.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, let me explain that concept because otherwise it gets very confusing. So, la razón por la cual ustedes ven aquí, amigos, ceros en algunos de los manifiestos es porque hay diferentes algoritmos en silos, ¿no? Hay algoritmos que realmente no son a nivel de manifiesto, son a nivel de ciclo de factura, ¿verdad? Entonces, la convención que se ha tomado es que cuando el algoritmo es a nivel de ciclo de factura, realmente pudiéramos poner como que no aplica ni, o sea, se puso 0 básicamente el número, la selección natural que se hizo, ¿no? Porque realmente el algoritmo se corre para todos los manifiestos que aplican a ese ciclo. O sea que no tiene sentido bajar la granularidad porque el algoritmo realmente no funciona a nivel de manifiesto. O sea, por eso es que aquí arriba existen dos totales, ¿no? Está el total de dinero que aportan los algoritmos que están a nivel de servicio, o sea, a nivel de manifiesto, y está el total que aplica, que está relacionado con el conjunto de ambos tipos de algoritmos, el nivel de servicio, el nivel y el que está a nivel de ciclo, ¿verdad? Que es la segunda cantidad que está que dice ahí, que dice 1160.
Mario,
Sí, adelante, Eric.
Mario.
Sí, Eric.
Mario, tengo una pregunta, Mario. Yo veo que un manifiesto está amarrado a un solo contrato, pero ¿qué va a pasar con los manifiestos que tienen varios residuos que pertenecen en varios contratos?
Okay, so Julian, the question from Eric, right, is that
Mm-hmm.
usually a manifest is associated to a contract item, and obviously a contract item is associated to a contract, right, a unique contract. That's the usual
Right.
scenario. But the case that we're trying to
Right.
handle, right, to make abstraction of the person that is taking the ad hoc request, to make abstraction of the contract, potentially we could have the situation where we go over the scope of a manifest, or over the scope of a contract, right? That's what what we talk about, having a default account for those cases, right? Default billing account, and then basically all those manifests are being moved to that at that level. So because the context is not a contract. So Eric is asking about those cases. How are we handling those cases nowadays?
Correct. So if I mean the pricing must be defined in one of those contracts. That's a given.
Yes.
Okay. If there is no price defined, this
That's
cannot
correct.
calculate. So if you have a manifest which spans multiple contracts, and all those contracts are mapped to one billing account. If a manifest spans multiple contracts and all those contracts are mapped to one billing account, the record will appear against that particular billing account.
Okay, that's the answer. So Eric.
But if the manifest is mapped to multiple contracts and the contracts are mapped to different billing accounts, then we will consider the default billing account.
Okay, but how is that reflected here in the application?
So currently in the application, you cannot map one manifest to multiple contracts. That feature is not yet in place. But when it does come in place,
no, I think when the pre-invoice is not associated, because the pre-invoice is for a given billing account at the end, right?
Pre-invoice is always for a given billing account, Mario. Yes. So when it cannot be mapped to a specific billing account, it will be mapped to the default billing account, Mario. Okay. Whatever is the default.
So, Eric, al final, ¿verdad? Al final realmente a lo que está asociado a la prefactura es a una cuenta de facturación, ¿verdad? El caso que tú planteas, ¿no? Que es cuando hay un pedido de no programado, y lógicamente cada uno de los tipos de desechos o de los productos que se piden en ese pedido no están asociados a un solo manifiesto, ¿verdad? La convención que tenemos es que cuando existe ese caso, como explicamos en el día de ayer, existe una cuenta de facturación que es por defecto, es una necesidad, ¿no? Es un requerimiento del sistema. Esos manifiestos, en vez de estar en el contexto de un contrato determinado, porque lógicamente hay varios contratos envueltos en este caso, ¿no? El caso que estamos viendo, el tuyo, de que no todo viene del mismo contrato, se va a asociar directamente a la cuenta.
Así es.
O sea, se asocia directamente a esa cuenta por defecto. Porque al final, lo que realmente a lo que está realmente la prefactura asociada es a la cuenta de facturación, ¿verdad? Es al cliente y a la cuenta de facturación. O sea, es como se maneja al final, es a través de esa cuenta por defecto. O sea, ya no hay una asociación a un contrato como tal, es básicamente a la cuenta por defecto. Lo mismo pasa cuando tú marcas, por ejemplo, un contrato que tú dices consolida, ¿verdad? Lo que está diciendo que todos estos manifiestos que me vengan por concepto derivado de este contrato, por favor, no me hagan nada aquí a nivel de contrato, pásamelo a la cuenta y la agregación que pase a nivel de cuenta. So Julian, can you show that the part related to how we're handling the consolidations? When we say consolidated at the contract level, that basically we're saying, okay, any set of manifests that comes, please put it elevate and just pass it to the account. Do the aggregation at the account level. Can you show how we have this setting in the contract too? Hello, Julian? Hello? I think we lost Julian. Hello? Hello? Hello, Julian? Hello, Gustavo, ¿me oyen? Eric? Hello?
Sí, Mario.
Hello?
Sí, Mario, estamos
Ahora
acá,
sí,
estamos
Mario, parece
Sí,
que se había
parece que hay
caído, pero ya te
problemas.
escucho de nuevo.
Parece que hay problemas de
con Julián.
con la conexión. Tal vez deba de iniciar yo la llamada para... Lo que te estaba explicando, Eric, que al final lo que realmente está relacionado directamente con la prefactura es la cuenta, ¿verdad? Porque fíjate que a nivel de contrato existe un setting que eso lo discutimos también en Chinaigus, ¿verdad? Donde decimos, ok, todo lo que venga, o sea, la prefactura no me lo hagas a nivel del contexto de este contrato, ¿ok? Pásame todos estos manifiestos a la cuenta, ¿verdad? Entonces damos una prefactura a nivel de cuenta. O sea, existen dos niveles para la prefactura. Una prefactura que está limitada por el contexto del contrato y está el otro nivel que es limitado por el contexto de la cuenta, que últimamente es lo que realmente está relacionado con la comunicación con AX, y, ¿verdad? O sea, esos son los dos niveles. O sea, esos casos que tú planteas donde lo que va en el manifiesto viene de diferentes contratos, básicamente es lo que se eleva al contexto a nivel de cuenta. Y para eso es que se exige la cuenta esa por defecto que hemos hablado, ¿no? En el día de ayer. No sé si queda claro, ¿no, Eric? De la misma forma, lo que estaba tratando
Ok,
de explicar.
entonces si se genera la cuenta,
Sí.
perdón Mario, si se genera la cuenta por defecto, ¿quiere decir que ese manifiesto va a tomar todos los residuos de todos los contratos?
No.
Hello, hi Matthew.
Julian, welcome back. No es de todos los contratos, Eric. Es
Yeah.
para el caso de los manifiestos, eso que en donde exista no un solo contrato, sino varios contratos asociados. ¿Ok? O sea, la prefactura puede estar a dos niveles. A nivel de contrato, o sea, cuando digo niveles es el conjunto, ¿no? Lo que pone el contexto del conjunto de manifiestos, ¿verdad? A nivel de contrato o a nivel de cuenta. A nivel de cuenta es cuando yo digo, ok, todos los manifiestos que me vengan por concepto de este contrato, los voy a pasar a la cuenta. Entonces en la cuenta es donde se va a hacer todo este algoritmo, ¿no? De buscar los manifiestos, el periodo de ciclo y generar básicamente la factura, ¿verdad? Pero ese caso que tú planteas, básicamente son manifiestos que clasifican para que sean asociados directamente a la cuenta por defecto. Después, cuando venga la factura, por eso, que la factura que va a incluir esos manifiestos va a estar asociado no al contrato, a un contrato, sino a la cuenta por defecto. Y por cierto, eso no está implementado todavía. O sea, está la infraestructura, pero no está implementado todavía. Julian, we don't have this part implemented yet, right? The part related of handling the multiple contracts associated to a manifest, right? When we elevate the context.
Multiple contracts? No.
Okay.
Currently, we don't have that feature.
Yeah.
But when it comes, then I don't think our system should break down. We will still be able to function, and we will be able to work.
What I was explaining
No
to
matter
Eric,
what.
and
So,
hopefully I made sense, right? We have two levels, right? Two contexts. We have pre-invoices that are at the context of a contract and pre-invoices that are at the context of a billing account, right? So by context I mean the group of manifest, right? In one case it's limited for a given contract. In another case it's limited by the account that could be related to multiple contracts, right? What I'm saying to Eric.
But even when it is related to a contract, that contract is tied to a billing account. So indirectly, it is actually tied to some billing account somewhere. So the billing account is the billing, Mario. You bill to an account. So even though it is tied to a contract, you will have to associate it with a billing account because the billing account is always supreme.
That's clear. But
It is,
the content itself,
sure.
the content itself basically says, okay, this set of manifests, right? If they are at the level of the contract, it means that any manifest in the set, right, is always related to one contract, right? The other level is the billing account.
Yes.
It means that any manifest, right, that is associated to any contract that is related to this billing account is going to be included. So it's going to be like, so the pre-invoice is for the cumulative amount of set of manifests for each of the contracts, right?
That's correct, Mario.
And that's what I'm explaining to them. That those cases when we have, because it comes an ad hoc request, right? And basically
Right.
we're not giving any more the selection of the contracts. So the products or the waste types can come from multiple contracts, right? Ultimately, all those contracts, right? Somehow this unique manifest that is going to be generated, right? Because we have multiple contracts now, we can have potentially conflicts, right? Because each contract is associated to one billing account. And in that case, we are basically automatically the system is saying, okay, this manifest is going to be associated to a pre-invoice that is going to be derived from the default billing account of the client.
Correct.
And a similar problem happens when we have this concept of a consolidation. By consolidation, we means that, okay, any manifest that is associated to this contract, please don't do the pre-invoice at this level. Don't generate the pre-invoice just for in the context of this contract. Just pass all those manifests to the account that this contract is related to, and aggregate, do the aggregation at that level, at the account level. So the pre-invoice is generated at the account level.
So the pre-invoice is generated at the account level. That's correct. That's correct, Mario. That's correct. So,
Eri, no sé si pude clarificar tu pregunta. Si quieres nos reunimos más, o sea, en otra ocasión y lo vemos con más calma, porque es un concepto un poco extraño que es muy útil, es muy flexible, pero a mí inclusive me da a veces problemas entenderlo, pero lo he repetido tanto que pienso que te puedo, o sea, lo he repetido tanto en mi cabeza, ¿no? Que pienso que puedo clarificarte si tenemos más tiempo y lo vemos con más calma después. Esto es basado, Gus, en lo que hablamos allá en China, y te acuerdas el diagramita que tú hiciste en la pizarra que al final que clarificó muchas cosas, ¿no?
Sí, recuerdo la discusión y creo entender de que sí va a ser la opción que Eric tiene que usar para facturar. Dejan de estar los manifiestos ligados a un contrato, sino pasan a estar ligados al cliente, y lo que se factura no es el contrato sino el cliente.
En este caso es la cuenta por defecto del cliente. Pero recuerda que cuando hablamos del cliente estamos hablando a una cuenta, ¿no? En este caso la cuenta por defecto.
Exactamente.
Perfect, Julian. I think I mean, if I need to meet up with Eric later, I'll do that. Now, can we explain to them the question that came from Gustavo? How are we billing? How can we bill, independent by service? In other words, I mean, regardless of billing cycles, regarding all that stuff. How can we do that?
Okay. Okay. So for that, okay, Mario, that is his question. Okay, so give me a minute. So, okay, while you were discussing, okay, just give me a minute, Mario. I'll try to see if, the thing is with this account, I have a lot of manifests. If I remove them, then we might not be able to do that. If you want to be able to see the billing for one which does not have a filter, right? Okay, Mario, just give me 10 seconds. Let me define it.
I mean, we don't have an example. We just need to explain it, right, Julian? How are we
yes. So the idea is correct. The idea is it is always tied to the. It is always going to be tied to the billing, to the availability of manifest, Mario. It's always tied to the availability of manifest. If the manifest is present for that particular set, then it will generate the then it will generate the the pre-invoice. If it is not tied to a particular set, then it will not generate the pre-invoice. That is the key. So that presence of the manifest is the key driver for all of this, Mario.
Now, I think the question from Eric is, do I need to create a billing cycle filter, right? To basically build those clients that basically don't have any recurrency. There's no cycle associated to it really, because they are so the service is so aleatory, you know. There is no regularity, you know. Do I need to create a cycle filter for them, or I can build it without doing that? I think that's the question that is asking Eric, Gustavo.
Yeah, so you need to match them to an existing cycle filter, Mario, if you don't want to
what would be the
be able
filter?
to select them.
What would be the cycle filter for those clients?
You can create a standard cycle filter, Mario. That's not an issue.
But,
you can create
there is no cycle, right? There's no cycle of billing, right, for the client, because again, they're billed by service. But would you have a special case of a cycle or billing cycle for those cases by service, for example? That's it. And basically it means that there is no cycle, you know. And basically anything that is not billed is gonna be included. That's all. You know. I think that way we can handle that case, right?
Or they should create a default cycle or something like that, you know. If they want to use it, they can create a default cycle, and the default cycle will be able to handle that example. You get what I'm saying, Mario?
Yeah, so lo que dice Julián, Gus, ¿verdad? Realmente lo que te brinda este concepto de partición, o sea, de filtro de partición, de filtro de ciclo, ¿verdad? Es una forma de particionar los clientes, ¿verdad? Ahora, para estos casos, ¿no? Que son clientes que pasan, que no hay un ciclo como tal de billing, ¿no? Que son realmente por servicio que se cobra, ¿verdad? Entonces lo que él dice es que se pudiera definir un ciclo, que sería un ciclo dummy, ¿verdad? O un ciclo que básicamente para marcar a esos clientes, y se asocian todos esos clientes que están relacionados, que son por servicios, y que básicamente lo que pasa es que lógicamente en dependencia de cómo definas el ciclo, y es lo que le estoy planteando a Julián, que deberíamos tener alguna forma de no tener que ir porque realmente no hay ciclo. O sea, tú puedes hacer el billing cuando tú quieras, ¿no? O sea, el problema del ciclo que yo veo es que entonces lo que te va a marcar en el calendario es una regularidad que en realidad no existe. O sea, que se crea confusión.
Sí, pero aparte, Mario, vos podés tener un cliente con un contrato con un ciclo mensual. Ajá. Pero a su vez le prestás un servicio ad hoc y ese servicio ad hoc se lo facturás por separado, con lo cual vas a tener para ese cliente en un mismo mes vas a tener la factura mensual más una factura por el servicio puntual que le prestaste.
Exacto, sí, es como que nos
por
falta
lo cual no veo
nos
posible
falta eso,
que
sí, nos falta la posibilidad de obviar la parte esta de los ciclos de factura, que básicamente envuelve un ciclo de facturación, ¿verdad? Los filtros de factura que envuelven un ciclo de facturación, porque en realidad esos casos deberían poderse hacer en cualquier momento, o sea, cualquier día, el día que sea necesario, ¿verdad?
Sí, es muy probable que se preste el servicio y se facture todo en el transcurso de 24 o 48 horas.
Exacto, o sea que eso yo pienso que falta aquí. O sea, ese caso que es por servicio, que básicamente paga en cuanto el servicio esté, cuando yo quiera hacerte el billing, ¿verdad? Yo pienso que está faltando aquí. So Julian, what Gustavo is saying is that he's putting on an example, right? You got a client that has a billing cycle associated to it, but there is a special ad hoc request, right? That needs to be billed right away, you know? This is apart from the initial concept.
You can do that in the current. You can do that, Mario. You don't need to wait for the billing cycle to get over. right?
Exactly.
That's the flexibility of the system.
Ya, el caso segundo que tú planteas, Gus, ya el cliente ya tiene un ciclo de factura asociado, ¿no? Es posible porque recuerda que tú puedes manipular por el cut-off day ese, que tú puedes manipular e incluir simplemente el periodo que tú quieras del periodo como tal del ciclo, ¿no? Es el espacio de tiempo. El caso que yo veo que no está manejado es el primero, cuando no existe ningún ciclo de factura asociado al cliente, ¿verdad? Y básicamente, y tú puedes generar tantas facturas como sea para un periodo determinado, en el segundo caso que pusiste, ¿no? Cuando tienes clientes que son aleatorios,
Sí,
que
pero
necesitan una regularidad, ¿no?
Mario, me queda una duda, porque en varias ocasiones dijiste que el ciclo de facturación está ligado al cliente y yo
No,
creí haber
al
entendido, tal vez equivocadamente,
Es al contrato.
al contrato.
Exacto.
Perfecto.
Es al contrato, siempre está al contrato. So, Julian, the case that...
Porque entonces vos,
Sí, sí.
vos-
Sí, sí, Gus, adelante.
porque en
¿Aló? Adelante, Gustavo. ¿Aló?
I think we're having some issues with Skype.
Yeah, I think Gustavo lose Gustavo. So, Julian, the thing is, for the first case is when the client doesn't have a billing cycle associated. Okay? There's no billing cycle. It's somebody who comes every now and then, you know. How? Because right now we need to select the billing cycle, a cycle filter, right? This cycle filter has associated to it a billing cycle. Those clients don't have billing cycle, you know.
empezaron
So, I mean, why do they not have billing cycles, Mario? They don't have contracts?
Because they don't have contract, exactly. They just they're billed. Actually, they have contracts in the structure of silos, right? But there is no recurrency, you know. They just need to pay as they go, you know, immediately. Let's make it it's immediate. They have to pay immediately, you know.
Okay, so that's okay. As long as they have a contract, it will be handled, Mario. If they have a contract and a billing account, it will be handled.
How can we handle that? Okay, from the very beginning, from the compilation screen, those clients, they don't have any billing cycle associated.
They do, yeah. So they don't need to be having any billing cycle, Mario. See, you basically want to be able to generate a manifest for them on the fly, right? So all you do is you create a dummy manifest. Okay, wait, let me do that, Mario. Let me share my screen. Do you want me to create a client from scratch? I can do that offline. We can have a discussion. I can show you how.
Sí, adelante.
Excuse me, Julian.
Sí, adelante.
Sí, sí, sí.
Mario, cuando vamos a la parte de la recolección de los datos para facturar,
Ajá.
o sea, donde aplicamos los filtros,
Exacto.
ahí tendríamos que, en el caso de estos puntuales, vamos a facturar por cliente, no es que vamos a facturar muchos clientes, estos son casos puntuales.
Exacto.
Entonces deberíamos poner seleccionar el cliente, al seleccionar el cliente nos va a traer en la grilla todos los manifiestos que pueden ser facturados, y de ahí deberíamos seleccionar cuál queremos facturar y cuáles no, o sea, esos no van a estar asociados a un ciclo de facturaciones, como que van a quedar al margen.
Es como que vamos a hablar todos los manifiestos que no estén asociados a ninguna prefactura se van a incluir en la prefactura y bueno, y ellos pueden quitarlo, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Independientemente del ciclo de facturación, independientemente de todo eso, ¿verdad?
A un ciclo de facturación. Manifiestos que no estén relacionados a un ciclo de facturación, no a una prefactura.
Bueno, sí, porque pudiera ser que el caso de de que el cliente tenga un contrato o sea, pudiera ser el caso de que el cliente tenga un contrato que tenga un ciclo de facturación asociado y pudiera ser el caso de que el cliente esté haciendo estos ad hocs, ¿verdad? Que no tiene que ver con
Sí.
nada, es lo que tú dices, ¿no?
Correcto.
Sí. Sí, pero es que el ad hoc siempre tiene que ver con una cuenta o con un contrato, ¿verdad?
Exactamente. Y como en el contrato especificamos cuál es el ciclo de facturación, deberíamos tener un ciclo de facturación que nos indique que eso se factura, por llamarlo de alguna forma, manualmente.
Ajá. ¿Y cómo se representaría eso entonces en el calendario ese que es lo que es la parte que yo veo que no cuadra mucho aquí, ¿no? El calendario ese que está aquí en la parte de...
No, es que es que el calendario funcione únicamente para los ciclos de facturación, porque lo que te indica el calendario es un ciclo de facturación. Acá lo que va a haber una consulta de cuáles son todos los manifiestos que no están incluidos en algún ciclo de facturación. Entonces te va a dar un informe, te va a dar una grilla con N ítems. Esos ítems son manifiestos que no están incluidos en ningún ciclo de facturación.
Exacto, independientemente del calendario ese que ponemos ahí.
Claro, porque el calendario lo vamos a utilizar cuando querramos facturar por ciclo de facturación, pero esto está en el margen de un ciclo de facturación.
Claro.
Se factura por servicio.
Sí. So, y por cierto, Gus, ahora ya lo voy a transmitir esto a Julián, pero por cierto, todos los parámetros que existen a nivel de contrato, como por ejemplo ciclo de facturación, todos esos parámetros existen también a nivel de cuenta, por los dos niveles que hay, los dos niveles que expliqué anteriormente. Okay?
Correcto, perfecto.
Okay, Julian, basically what Gustavo is saying, right? Because right now when you go, for example, to the compilation screen, right, you got this calendar. Right? Just the presence of the calendar tells you, okay, there is a billing cycle involved, in this compilation, right? But for those clients, I mean, it's not clients, it's services, right? Because remember, a client can have a contract that has a billing cycle, but could have another contract that that is basically for ad hoc, They don't have any billing cycle; they just need to pay as they get service, It could be the case. So what he's suggesting is, right now we have the billing cycle. In the billing cycle, we have it at two levels, right? At the account level and at the contract level, right? But you have a special case of billing cycle that basically means, okay, I don't have to do any regularity, right? I just basically I'm marking this contract or this account, right? So I don't need to use this calendar over here. I just need to pick what are the clients that I want to bill. That's all. And then it's gonna go and gonna introspect, okay, what are the contracts that are associated to this special value of billing cycle or the accounts that are associated to it, and then I'm gonna basically create a pre-invoice for them.
Yeah, no, Mario, I'm just 1 second. I just want to explain. You can still do it in the current scenario.
How can
That's
you
what
do
I was
over
trying
here?
to tell you again and again.
How can you do over here?
Okay.
There's no billing cycle. This client is just an ad hoc client. There's nothing to it. Right?
It's an ad hoc client. So, but regardless of anything, it's still a client, right?
Yes.
Right. And it still has a contract, right? It still has a contract. It still has a billing account.
That's correct.
So all you need to do is associate it with some billing account, any billing account. Okay, and associate that any billing account with some billing cycle.
But that's
it's irrelevant.
What's
the
billing
is so
cycle?
flexible.
Because the billing cycle
No,
always
Mario, wait. No. You're not getting it. The date flexibility allows you to generate pre-invoices regardless of the cycle.
So you need to assign a cycle
Did you
even though it's not true. That's what you're saying.
It's a dummy cycle, Mario. It's a default cycle or a dummy cycle that you assign. What I'm trying to tell you is that the cycle is not a restraint. You can generate it. So let's. Do you want? That's what I said. I could create a client for you offline and show you how it works. You just create. So, for example, if you have a bunch of clients which are of that type, you know that, okay, I have got 100 clients who are going to be of that type, or I could have another 200 clients coming in future which are of that type. So all you do is you create a default billing cycle and a default billing account, and you link all of them to the default billing cycle and billing account, and you can bill them at any time. The restriction is not there. You can say that I'm generating a bill for the 2nd of the month, and you can put your end date as today's date, and you can still generate it. You can still put today's date as your end date, and you can still generate a bill for them. That's what I'm telling you. To include all the manifests which are in between those dates, all the manifests will come and it will be able to generate the pre-invoice for you.
So you need the
I don't have data to show you,
no,
so that's what I said. I could create one from
I think
scratch
that the
and
point
show
that
you.
it's trying to make, I think it's very funky to associate a cycle that
No,
is not
it's
real.
not, Mario. It is disciplined, Mario.
Disciplined.
See, you need to have a structure around what you're doing. It's basically you're creating a default billing account which allows you to do that. You're creating a default billing cycle. So tomorrow when you want to track it, you always can go back and track it, saying that, hey, this client, I built him at this time, this was the structure. So it prevents the, it creates a structure around the bill generation. So I could create one for you from scratch and show you that scenario, Mario. It's very simple to do. You don't have to worry. This date flexibility allows you to pick any date and any bill and generate it. So if I had the data right now, I would have shown you. I just don't have the sufficient data to show you. But I could just simply create a client, create a dummy cycle, dummy billing account, keep adding as many clients as I want to that dummy cycle, as many clients as you want. Simply generate the bill as and when you want. This thing allows you to generate the bill as and when you want. So if you want to be sticking to a structure, you say, okay, I want to generate a bill as per the cycle. You can generate it as per the cycle. So the cycle tells you generate it on the 2nd of the month. Or you say, I want to violate the cycle and I want to generate a bill anytime. You can violate the cycle as well. It's not advisable, but you can do it. You can still do it. So the system gives you the flexibility to generate bills as and when you want, whenever you want.
Yeah. So let me explain this to Gustavo. Gus, lo que está diciendo Julián, ¿verdad? Que con la estructura corriente, básicamente para manejar esos casos, o sea, es que siempre y cuando el cliente esté asociado en una de esas particiones definidas por uno de esos ciclos de filtros de ciclo, ¿verdad? Va a aparecer en algún momento aquí en este calendario. Entonces, por este atributo que dice incluye manifiesto before, ese es lo que te permite cerrar el espacio de tiempo, o sea, hacerlo más pequeño que el del periodo como tal. Lógicamente, esto implica que estos clientes van a estar asociados, y lo que aparte que tal vez te cause, ¿cómo decirte? O sea, que es redundante, ¿no? Un ciclo de billing, que va a ser un ciclo de billing que es un dummy, ¿verdad? Porque es que es necesario para crear el filtro de ciclo, ¿verdad? Que van a estar asociados al cual se le va a asignar todos esos clientes que son básicamente que se facturan inmediatamente o en una forma ad hoc, ¿no? Es básicamente crear ese dummy ciclo de billing, ¿verdad? De forma tal de que al menos aparezca aquí en uno de estos ciclos de filtro. Entonces, bueno, cuando lo veas aquí en el calendario, lo puedes manipular entonces basado en el atributo ese de incluye manifiesto antes, ¿verdad? Y puedes decir, ok, es para este espacio de tiempo que fue cuando ocurrió el servicio. Eso es lo que está diciendo Julián ahora. No sé si me hice entender, ¿no?
Sí, Mario, yo te entendí y la verdad que tendría que verlo en la práctica, y también lo que estoy pensando es si en esa grilla de compilación, cuando nos muestran los manifiestos, así como muestra el contrato, por ahí tendríamos que detallar si es dentro de un contrato o si es un ad hoc, ¿no? Porque ¿cómo se van a ver los servicios recurrentes ahí? Yo para un servicio recurrente tal vez creo ese contrato dummy, que es un contrato exclusivo para ese servicio, para ese manifiesto. Entonces ese contrato nace y muere para ese manifiesto. Entonces ahí me va a estar representado como un contrato más, por ejemplo el 811. Pero de alguna forma yo tendría que identificarlo como un ad hoc o no, como para poder seleccionarlo más rápidamente.
Los manifiestos individuales, ¿no?
Los manifiestos individuales.
Okay. So, Julian,
okay, let me do one thing, Mario. Yes,
this is a feedback from Gustavo, right? It's very convenient to have in the grid when we show the pre-invoice. The manifests that are part of the pre-invoice, the potential pre-invoice, to show a column that says, okay, this is an ad hoc, a manifest associated to an ad hoc request or to a recurring request, because based on that they can basically guide the decision of taking off the manifest or not, you know, from the pre-invoice that is potentially to be generated. Make sense? That's the feedback from Gustavo.
Okay.
Right now on annual column, okay, is this manifest associated to an ad hoc request or is associated to a recurrent or program request?
Mario,
¿Sí?
excuse me, Mario, porque ese ad hoc también va a tener completo la columna contract item.
Exactamente.
Porque por más que sea un ad hoc,
Exacto.
internamente nosotros le asociamos un contrato que nace y muere exclusivamente para
Ahora,
ese
fíjate, hay
servicio.
ad hoc que no tienen un contrato asociado, tienen múltiples contratos y en ese caso se asocia directamente a la cuenta de facturación por defecto, ¿verdad? Que es el caso este que hemos estado discutiendo ¿verdad? O sea, hay manifiestos que no están asociados a un contrato, están asociados a la cuenta directamente, ¿verdad?
Sí,
O sea que realmente hay dos niveles, ¿no? El nivel de contrato y el nivel de cuenta, lo que estaba, que es basado en lo que vimos en Chennai, ¿no? Que tú mismo explicaste tal vez incluir otra columna que diga si es a nivel de contrato o a nivel de. Bueno, es que la misma columna está de contract item, ¿verdad? Te dice la información, ¿no? Si existe un contrato asociado, va a estar populado, si no, ponemos un valor que sea NA o algo, ¿no? Y ya significa que está a nivel de cuenta. O podemos poner dos columnas, una de la cuenta y otro del contract item.
sí, no sería mal esa también.
No, Mario, let's do one thing.
Yes.
Let me do one thing. We can have a session maybe later on tonight or on Monday where I can explain how it works. There are some bugs in this. I will get those sorted out and will explain to you. Because I can explain to you from scratch, from the creation of a client onwards, how it appears over here. There's something which I'm not able to fix right now, but I'll show it to you how it's supposed to work. So it's very flexible. The current scenario allows you to do a lot of stuff. We can explain it to you how it works. We can see also if there is any modification needed for Gustavo. We can try to create something independent of the billing cycle. We can explore our options. If the current solution doesn't work, we can explore to add something later on. Not a problem.
Perfecto. So, Gus, después podemos seguir discutiendo esta parte. ¿Okay? Esto no es esto es básicamente la conversación inicial, ¿no?
No, sigamos, por favor, sí.
So, Julian, can you proceed with the flow? What's happened now? Okay, I picked only one, I don't know. I took off a couple manifests from here. I did my final list. What happened now?
So Mario, so what will happen is this amount will be calculated and shown over here, right? So you have this amount plus this amount, which is the manifest total, will appear over here, and the billing period amount will appear over here. Now, the way we have structured it is for the billing period amount needs to consider all the manifests which are in and all the manifests which are out, right? So the billing period amount will be recalculated only on the on click of the save button, Mario. We don't have a way of recalculating it before you do that. But for the manifest level algorithms, which is I think bulk of the countries, apart from Chile, nobody else uses the billing period algorithms. So for these, we will calculate it on the fly. So the moment you unselect the manifest, it will recalculate the manifest amount and show it to you. So do you see that, Mario? But for the billing period amounts, you have to save it. So let's say I removed off a manifest and I saved it. Then we will get to see the total recalculated amount for those particular manifests. So saying that this is what is the total, this is the billing period amount for this manifest. If you want, we can go down to those manifests and have a look.
Yeah, so básicamente lo que le está explicando, Gus, que aquí la cantidad que es relacionada con algoritmos que están a nivel de manifiesto, o sea, a medida que tú haces la selección aquí se hace un update automático, ¿verdad? Lo que él mostró allí. Pero para hacer el automático del billing period amount, para contemplar los algoritmos que son a nivel de periodo de billing, no de un manifiesto específico, hay que apretar el botoncito de save. Y entonces, básicamente, eso te daría la cantidad final, ¿no? Después de que tú haces tu selección final aquí, en esta fase de precompilación. Cuando haces save, eso lo que te hace es generar básicamente la prefactura final. So Julian, once you click save, you generate the pre-invoice, the final pre-invoice, right?
Yes. So once you click save here, so we selected 3 manifests, we unselected one, so number 40 is out, 48, 49 and 45 are in. So once you do this, it will generate the final pre-invoice. This is the aim. So this is the compilation button over here.
Sí. Ahí tienes que apretar para
And
que ya se termine de generar, ¿no? Entonces ya se crea la prefactura como tal, ¿no? Con tu selección final.
yeah. So if I go back and search for it again, if I go back and search for those guys again, putting in a date,
Si él va de nuevo a buscarlo, no debe aparecerle la posibilidad.
I will not get that one. I will not get that particular manifest in there.
Esos manifiestos, como están asociados a una prefactura, no deben de aparecer más como disponibles, ¿no?
So that manifest is out of the game, Martin.
O sea, ahí puedes crear otra
So
prefactura
if
por el
you go
mismo periodo, ¿no? Pero con los manifiestos que no están asociados a una prefactura existente. O sea, el mismo periodo puede tener varias prefacturas asociadas. Tú puedes hacer cuantas veces quieras, puedes emitir tantas prefacturas como tú quieras para un periodo determinado. Pero una vez que está amarrado un manifiesto a una prefactura, ya no aparece más, no está más disponible. Que es lo que se espera, ¿no? Entonces, esta pantalla que él tiene aquí es la pantalla de búsqueda de prefacturas que están creadas ya. O sea, la prefactura tiene, como todas las entidades en Silo, tiene un estatus asociado a él, a la entidad como tal, ¿no? Entonces, estos son los botoncitos que ven arriba, que son las operaciones que se pueden hacer con prefacturas ya existentes o ya compiladas, ¿no? So, Julian, can you proceed?
¿Puedo ver los filtros de superiores, Mario?
Sí, no. Julian, can you scroll up to see the filters on top, please? All right. Y él lo tiene en inglés, Julián.
Mario. No, está bien, no problem, Julian. Mario, lo que estaba viendo es, no tengo un filtro, por ahí no lo estoy viendo, Mario, pero no tengo un filtro que pueda filtrar cuáles mandé ya para X y cuáles aún quedan pendientes de enviar a X.
Sí, mira, tú ves dice prefactura estado, ¿verdad? Julian, can you expand the drop down para status of the pre-invoice? The status of the pre-invoice. Hay uno que dice send to client, send to AX.
Perfecto.
Como decía acá, la prefactura,
Perfecto.
como toda
Gracias,
entidad en
Mario.
sí, tiene un estado asociado, ¿no? Y es uno de los atributos que se incluye aquí.
So right now all of them are in generated status, Mario. So let me just pick up this one, number 39, and I can update it over here. So I can mark it as validated by the client. So if the client has validated it, I can click it over here and it should validate, I don't know. Right here it says, are you sure you want to validate?
So, cuando cambiamos, por ejemplo, de generado a validado por el cliente, es porque ya recibimos el visto bueno, ¿no? Entonces, tenemos que venir explícitamente y marcarlos aquí como que ya está validado, ¿no? Que es lo que está haciendo él con el botoncito ese. Es simplemente cambiar el status. Y es lo que...
Perfecto.
Okay. And one more thing, Mario. So we saw those manifests for this particular client, right? So we will do one more thing. I don't remember the numbers, I have to search them. We will go back to those manifest. Okay, not this one, sorry. Manifest search, okay. So that's one pending item. We need to put a manifest ID search in here. If I could just get those manifests, I would show you that we will mark those statuses also. We will update the status of the manifest also to pre-invoice generated. So the status of the manifest will get marked as pre-invoice generated.
So, ok, viste, lo que está mostrando Julián es que una vez que tú asocias o sea, que tú creas la compilación y creas la prefactura, automáticamente el estado del manifiesto cambia también, ¿no? Como te digo, cada entidad tiene un estado asociado. Y lógicamente ese estado es lo que le dice al sistema, ok, ya estos manifiestos no se pueden incluir en otra prefactura.
Now, today, as of today, there is a missing item in this, that the user changes the value in a drop down. That will change in future. In future, we will do it. The status will become read only and will be controlled by the actions performed by the user on the screen. So that is a future functionality which we will implement. So as of now, it is controlled by the drop-down, but in future we will make it not controlled by the drop-down, but solely controlled by actions on the screen. So when the route is generated, the manifest will be generated. When the pre-invoice is confirmed,
But
then
here, the
the
pre-invoice, I mean the manifest status change when you create the pre-invoice, right?
right now, yes,
Okay.
this is
But you're saying
yeah.
about the other different transitions that right now is manual, right?
Other different transitions. Right now it is manual, but in future we will make it automated. That's the plan. So just for this release, it's going as manual, but for the next round we will automate that as well.
Perfecto. So, lo que dice Julián Gus es que hay transiciones de estados de manifiestos que lógicamente tuviste que el estado se hizo la transición automática basado en la acción simplemente de crear la prefactura de listo para generar para hacer pre-invoice a pre-invoice generado, ¿no? Y lógicamente basado en acciones del sistema. En otras pantallas existe todavía la necesidad de que se haga el cambio de estado del manifiesto para otros estados, ¿no? De una forma manual, y que eso lógicamente es uno de los open items, porque el objetivo es que el usuario no tenga que o tener la intervención mínima manual del usuario, que básicamente el estado transicione basada en las acciones que pase en el sistema, ¿no? Ok, Julian.
Mario, perdón.
Sí,
Eso también implica que si yo anulo una prefactura, los manifiestos quedan listos para ser vuelto a incluir en una prefactura.
So Julian, if you void right now a pre-invoice, are the manifests automatically put back in the state that ready to be associated to a pre-invoice?
Yeah, not right now, Mario. That is one more pending item that we have, but that's one more pending item that we have.
Sí,
so that is the ideal expectation, but that is what we plan to do. So that is one, and the second thing is once it is voided, it should not be further editable. That is the second thing which we have to do. So two things we have pending. One is that, so right now what it will do is only change the status to void, but it will not go and put it back to ready for pre-invoice. That part is pending, Mario.
Sí, o sea, tuvimos una reunión larguísima con todo esto, Gus, ¿okay? Ya todo esto está definido, o sea, cuáles son las consecuencias de un estado de transición, de un pre-invoice, cómo afecta a las entidades que depende de la cual están asociadas al pre-invoice. Todo eso está analizado y está por diseño ya plasmado. Lo que falta es la implementación de todas esas transiciones. Hay algunas que están implementadas como esta que tuviste, pero esa particular, la de que anulas la prefactura y que los manifiestos automáticamente se hacen un release y se ponen disponibles para ser asociados de nuevo, no existe actualmente, pero está contemplado. O sea, es que simplemente esto no está terminado, ¿no? Pero está contemplado.
Okay, Mario.
Okay, Julian.
And the next step, so there are a few pending items on the screen, Mario. One is the actual pre-invoice PDF generation. There are there is a big defect in there. It's working in the developer's environment. It's not working in any other environment. So that's on click of this button, it will generate a PDF. So currently it is not downloading the PDF correctly. And the other one is to void it. Even that is kind of buggy right now. When you void it, it's not updating the status of the manifest, but it's only updating the status of the pre-invoice. So that's another couple of defects which are pending. We will fix those.
O sea,
and we will roll it out.
Perfecto. Una de las cosas que falta aquí, Gus, es cuando tú aprietas en ese ojito que está ahí, lo que va a salir es el documento PDF que está basado en la infraestructura que tenemos para manejar cualquier tipo de documento en silos. ¿verdad? Y vamos a tener una sección sobre eso, que básicamente genera el detalle del PDF, del manifiesto. O sea, el detalle de la prefactura. El detalle me refiero por ejemplo, ¿cómo decirte? ¿Qué cantidad por tipo de las líneas que tiene que ver con la prefactura, de todo lo que están incluido en esas prefacturas?
So it will generate a PDF, but it's not correct, man. There's a huge defect in there, so we will rectify it. So that's the whole intention, that when you click on this, it will generate a PDF and you can save it to your local.
No está
So,
funcionando.
but now, right now there is some problem. It's not downloading properly, so there is some issue in there.
Is it working in the developer machine?
It's working in the developer machine, but I have no way to connect to it.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Okay.
That's the problem.
You want to take a Skype of it and do it, Julian, or?
That's fine.
One second.
I mean, if it's not working in the environment, it doesn't make sense to show it.
At least we can show it in that environment.
But we can do that. I mean,
I don't know.
If it's quick, right?
No, I think it'll take some time
Okay.
because I think he has gone out for dinner or something.
Julian, if it's needed, we can take time. In the meantime, we can show the other parts. We can arrange for it.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, there is nothing more in this pre-invoice part. We can move on to the other sections, Mario.
Yes, absolutely.
Open items stuff.
So esto es parte de la.
So you
de
want to
las-
do the open items discussion?
Esto es parte de la
There is a
lista
part on
abierta.
operations which is
Okay.
pending, Mario. There is a section on operations. If you want to run a quick run through, we can go through that, or you want to finish off the open items, we can do that.
How the detail is gonna look like to Gustavo, so he gets the sense.
Sure. So let's go step by step. So we start off with the manifest. Let me pick up a manifest. So we have a bunch of manifests in here. So this is my manifest. I can pick up any manifest. I'm just randomly picking up one. So there is, in operations, we have valorization, we have the lab test, we have a discrepancy, we have the production orders, and all this kind of stuff. So let's start with first the discrepancy. Okay. So the discrepancy is something which is raised at a manifest level, and there are a few gaps which need to be plugged, Mario. This is all relating to the status entity. So the ideal scenario is that when you create a discrepancy, you should not be able to edit the manifest, and that we will control through the status by putting the manifest status as for discrepancy. So let me not pick up one which is ready for
So
pre-invoice.
Julian, I think
That's wrong.
we're almost at the end of the session, right? So let's ask Gustavo,
Right.
because
We
I
just
think
have
I
few
really
minutes.
would like to go over the open items with him,
Yes,
So
yes,
we are-
Mario. Let's do that.
or at least he's aware of what we need to still
The
implement.
open items are.
So,
Yeah.
Gus,
Sure,
lo que
man.
está diciendo Julián, ¿verdad? Lo que él va a mostrar aquí, yo pienso que lo hemos tratado, ha sido, ¿cómo decirte? Completado de cierta forma, pero todavía faltan cosas por hacer. En la parte de operaciones hay muchas cosas que se han arreglado, que se han básicamente completado. No está completo todavía, pero ya ustedes tienen la idea de cómo funciona esto, ¿no? No quisiera ser redundante y no tenemos mucho tiempo, ¿no? Quisiera, lo que estaba viendo Julián, a ver si pasamos a la lista de problemas abiertos, o sea, que todavía están pendientes. Pienso que, ¿qué crees, Gus? ¿Tiene sentido o seguimos con...
Sí, no, pero yo lo que quiero cotejar es que lo que estuvimos hablando hace unos días es, ustedes hoy tienen que entregarnos silos, o sea, ¿qué tenemos a hoy? O sea, lo que quedamos ayer es que ustedes al tener algunas dificultades en Recife, lo van a publicar en los servidores de Chennai.
Exacto, sí.
Entonces, va a estar hecha una nueva publicación del sistema, la cual nosotros debemos revisar y cotejar con los ítems que ustedes tienen, que nos van a decir, bueno, yo te entrego el sistema y tengo todo esto pendiente, que me comprometo a hacerlo, pero que no lo he hecho.
Exacto.
Perfecto. Lo que yo quiero hacer es verificar exactamente si ese listadito
Exacto.
de ítems abiertos concuerda con nuestra apreciación. Eso es lo que yo quiero hacer.
hacer. Por eso es lo que yo te pedí.
En varias oportunidades si podías enviarme.
Sí, no, de hecho lo tenemos, de enviártelo podemos haberlo hecho, simplemente queríamos discutirlo, ¿no? Para que se entendiera, y no, o sea, por lo menos desde el punto de vista del equipo, ¿no? O sea, el objetivo era discutirlo. Si quieres te lo enviamos y después nos ponemos, tú lo lees primero y después volvemos si tenemos otra reunión, si lo prefieres así.
No, pero lo discutimos, Mario, y yo lo discuto en base a qué. O sea, vos me vas a decir, no hice tal cosa, y yo te voy a tener que decir, sí, Mario, te creo, porque no lo estoy pudiendo ver.
No, claro, exactamente. Al final la palabra de usted es la que cuenta. Pues.
Ahora, si vos... No, pero acá no es cuál es la palabra que cuenta o la que no, Mario, no pasa por eso. Si no es cotejar, vos me decís, bueno, yo no hice todo esto y lo tengo que hacer.
Claro.
Y la única forma yo de cotejarlo realmente es viendo el sistema.
Exacto. Entonces,
Si no lo que hago es creer en ustedes, que es lo que hacemos, creemos en ustedes, por eso, ¿cuál es el punto a discutir en realidad?
sí, entonces, sí, lo que tú planteas es que tal vez, o sea, una vez ya el sistema está en el servidor de UAT en Chennai, lógicamente cuando esté Recife, o sea, cuando esté el hosting de Brasil, lo único que tenemos que hacer es bien sencillo, ¿verdad? Es hacer un backup de la base de datos, restaurarla ya y configurar el servidor de los servicios que faltan, ¿no? En UAT y producción.
Correcto.
Pero debe ser una parte bien sencilla, o sea, no debe tomar mucho tiempo porque la mayor parte ya está hecha ya en el ambiente de desarrollo, ¿verdad? Que donde corre TFS, donde corre Octopus y todo eso. Ahora, lo que tú planteas es que usted tiene que, nosotros podemos hablar de los problemas que tenemos abiertos, pero usted tiene que revisar esto, ¿verdad? Tiene que verlo para estar seguro de que la lista que tenemos nosotros
eso es lo que voy,
incluye todo y que no estén faltando cosas, ¿verdad? ¿A eso te refieres tú?
Exactamente.
Sí,
sí. Lo discutimos, no hay ningún problema.
Yo lo planteé ayer, en la reunión de ayer, yo lo transmití al equipo, o sea que realmente la lista con la que ustedes van o sea que van a incluir lo que nosotros tenemos, pero no tiene por qué ser igual. Al menos va a incluir lo que tenemos, pero pueden haber otras cosas que se van a adicionar, ¿verdad? Basado en la revisión.
Claro, porque exactamente. ¿Qué es lo que se viene reiterando de hace mucho tiempo esta parte? Yo lo que escucho es, Mario, te pedimos esto, no está. Eric te dice, Mario, a mí me falta todo esto, yo no lo veo. Llegamos a 6 de noviembre y nosotros, colectivamente e individualmente, tenemos nuestro listado de ítems abiertos que aún no hemos visto en silos. Entonces, con esta última publicación hay que depurar esos ítems abiertos. Algunos de ellos van a estar cumplidos y otros no.
Entonces,
es correcto.
Estoy de acuerdo contigo, Gus. ¿Qué sugieres entonces? Que le mandemos el listado de lo que nosotros consideramos que está abierto todavía, para que ustedes agreguen, ¿verdad? O lo discutimos ahora. Porque no quiero hacerles perder el tiempo, ¿no? Y nosotros el tiempo...
No, pero no es perder el tiempo.
Cosas que están pendientes todavía.
Mario.
Sí, adelante, Eric.
Mario. Una pregunta, Mario.
Sí.
No, el listado que vas a mandar es en base a todas las discusiones que hemos tenido, ¿verdad, Mario?
Sí, el listado tiene dos categorías, Eric. Una son de los defectos, por lo que ustedes han abierto, y las otras son las cosas de implementación que no están todavía. Hay dos categorías, una lista de defectos y otra lista de implementación, funcionalidad que todavía no está disponible.
Ok, Mario.
¿Qué prefieren? ¿Que hagamos eso o lo discutamos o tengamos una reunión tal vez no sé si quieren hacerla ahora o como quieran?
No, Mario, podemos, nos quedan 15 minutos creo de la reunión que habíamos coordinado. Podemos comenzar a ver lo que
sí.
Julián nos quiere mostrar, pero yo lo que te quiero decir es que mucho no voy a tener para discutir o para comentarle hasta tanto no vea la publicación.
Claro. está claro eso está súper claro, Gus. Déjame transmitir esto. So, Julian, Suresh, basically what Gustavo is saying is that it's regarding the open items, right? The list of the open items, right? This says that the open items list that we have, right? As I said yesterday, right? In reality, they cannot validate right now, because they haven't taken a look yet at the UAT environment that is in Chennai, that it has to be moved to Brazil as soon as the servers in Brazil are available, right? But again, what he's saying is that we can start the discussion, but again, once they start reviewing it, right? Now that the UAT is set up in this last
Sorry, Mario.
Okay.
Mario, sorry, there is a break of voice. Can you please repeat the service related?
Okay, all right. Let me start from the beginning, okay? So what Gustavo is saying is that right now, they are going to get into reviewing the UAT environment, which currently is in Chennai, right? Are you there?
That's right, Mario. That's right.
And at some point, as soon as the servers in Brazil are ready, and by the way, Waldemar just notified to me that Bruno said that on Monday is going to be everything ready, okay?
Oh,
but again,
okay.
Next week, I already said to Gustavo there is a holiday in India, right? And we have to be aware of that. So, but anyways, as soon as the servers in Brazil are ready, we're going to be moving that, but it's going to be a pretty straightforward process because we got the same database that we got in China. We're going to make a backup, we're going to restore it in Brazil, so it should be a transition, but that shouldn't affect the UAT process, right? But what the point that he's trying to bring is that they need to review the system now that it's in this final release for the November 6th, right? They're going to review it, and so they can validate that the list that we are providing of open items that we're going to start discussing with them, right, is comprehensive enough. Includes everything. Everything regarding the two categories that we have, right? We got two categories: defects and functionality that is missing, right?
That's
so.
Right.
All he's saying is that right now, right, they won't be able to say much because again, they haven't started the UAT process. The reviewing of the system. Right, that is going to happen. It's going to start in Chennai, But basically, it's trying to make the point that this list is not finalized. It all depends. They need to review the system to make sure. Okay, this is true. This is not true. That's what he's saying. Or that was missed.
Okay.
But that's totally understandable.
So basically, two things right here, Mario. One, for today, the release we are going to do with the Gauss server 9500 port. So that one, once the UAT server is available in Brazil, sometime next week after this holiday, probably Thursday or sometime, we can move it to the...
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, somebody put the
Hola.
Yeah,
Okay.
There was a glitch. Gus. Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are back. Okay. So continue, Suresh, please.
Perdón, me había caído.
Yeah. Can you continue, Mario?
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, so there are two aspects here. One, today's UAT release we are going to do from the Gauss server, considering the availability of Brazil server.
Yes.
So next week, after we are back from the holiday, that is on Thursday, we can do the deployment to the Brazil server, and we can do one more round of smoke testing, and we can give it to them.
And perhaps some of the defects that we have right now can be included, the fix can be included by the Thursday release that is going to be happening in Brazil, right?
Yeah, it depends, Mario. Depending on that, the availability of team as during the holidays and stuff like that. So that's So that is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is on the open items stuff. So right now we will show what are all the items which the team here thinks as open or defects and all those aspects. Actually, we got three set of aspects. One, the known bugs, and the second is LATAM feedback, whatever the feedbacks we received from our LATAM team. That is second set. And the third set is the functionalities that should be there but that is not yet implemented. So these three categories is what we bucketed. So we will go through that, and in detail we need to go through. We can do it today, or as per LATAM team convenience, we can do that.
How long do you think it's going to take to go over all this, Rich?
I mean, it's got like 70 plus items in each sheet. So we can go through that today, or we can go through that at LATAM team convenient time. Not a problem. But as the I
think it's going to take us a long time to go item by item. Don't you think?
No problem, Mario. No problem. And as you rightly said,
I'm just asking you because I need to make them aware. You know, how long it's going to take.
Okay. It depends on Mario. If we want to go through each item and understand what it is, then definitely it will take time. On the other aspect, if we just see it a quick glance and run through that, it's not going to take much time. But in any way, Mario, as Gustavo rightly said, Gustavo and the LATAM team needs to go through that and understand that whether it is this is the final set of open items or anything else they want to add it. That is definitely a process after this.
Yeah, I think it will make more sense, you know, for the discussion to happen, perhaps to have it. I mean, let's send the list, you know, they're gonna have me available next week, you know, and then they're gonna start reviewing next week. In the next week, we are gonna have we're gonna continue the section with the source code understanding. That's the section that I have with our team in LATAM. And then perhaps they're gonna be better prepared on Thursday, perhaps, or Friday. I don't know. It depends of their availability, you know, to have this discussion. I really believe that you have an inspection of the system, because what Gustavo is saying it makes sense, right? I mean, we can talk about a lot of stuff right now, but they haven't seen, you know, this release yet. They would like to prepare to see the release to make sure that what we have in the sheet at least is comparable to what they are appreciating or witnessing by doing the UAT.
No problem, Mario. Definitely.
Let me communicate that to you because I think, I mean, it's a suggestion, okay? Let me...
Right. And the other thing is, Mario, we can just see it and just 2-3 minutes we can just see what we mean by this open item list, just to have a quick glance. And obviously we'll send it as part of the release email.
Okay. Perfect. So, Gus, lo que le estaba sugiriendo a Suresh, ¿verdad? Que para ir en detalle a analizar esta lista de open items, es mejor que ustedes tengan un tiempecito para ver el deployment que se ha hecho en UAT, ¿verdad? En Chennai. Tal vez, no sé, a finales de la semana que viene. Recuerda que ellos van a estar de holidays la semana que viene en la India, ¿verdad? Y lógicamente tal vez tomar un tiempecito nada más ahora para ver un sumario de lo que tenemos ahí. En realidad son 3 categorías de problemas que hay, ¿no? La primera categoría son los defectos. La segunda categoría son las funcionalidades que sabemos que no se ha podido implementar. Y la tercera categoría son las sugerencias que se han hecho de parte de nuestro equipo en LATAM, ¿verdad? Que básicamente han venido por un proceso del feedback, ¿no? Esas son las 3 categorías que existen. ¿Qué te parece? O sea, la discusión,
sí, Mario, pero
en detalle, ¿no crees que deberíamos tenerlo después de que hacemos que hayamos podido inspeccionar el UAT? ¿Sí?
Mario, la discusión en detalle la tenemos que ver con el sistema. Una vez que nosotros podamos ver el sistema, podemos discutirlo, no hay ningún problema. Podemos ahora tener estos poquitos minutos que nos quedan para escucharlo a Julián en su presentación, pero también envíen esos ítems abiertos para nosotros ir estudiando
Se va a mandar,
y no esperar a la publicación.
Se va a mandar con el mensaje de que ya todo está listo para ser revisado, ¿verdad? Con el mismo, como hemos mandado anteriormente, que se manda el URL y todas esas cosas, ¿no? Se va a mandar ahí todos los open items.
Perfecto.
Perfect, Suresh. I mean, let's send the list once we give the okay of the UAT readiness in Chennai, and let's have a quick summary right now in the few minutes that are left to to talk about the list of
Sure.
the open items, basically what you were saying.
Right, Mario. Okay. Julian, can you make me as a, I'm requesting you the presenter role. Can you quickly do that? I'll share that.
Suresh, I'm not getting it.
1 second. I'm changing my name. Can you make me as a presenter? No. It'll appear as Suresh there.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Okay. I think it's asking for downloading the app to make it presentable. Okay. Meanwhile, if you're ready on the report section, can you proceed, Julian? I'll send this.
No,
Okay.
Suresh. that's-
Fine. 1 second. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, shall we share it on Skype or something?
Yeah, that is even better. 1 second.
I don't think this guy's gonna work. It never works.
No problem. If between Julian and mine, if it works, that's
okay.
enough, Mario. The rest you can see it then.
Perfect. Yeah, I thought it was presentation.
Right.
Yeah, if you share it on Skype.
Yeah, right. I'm doing it.
Or link also is fine. Anyone,
Yeah.
whichever is preferable. No, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I have to do that. How about in Skype? By now
Yeah,
you should be
it's-
having it.
Yeah, it's loading. Give me half a second. It's still loading.
If not, I'll use the link.
No, I think link is better. I think this is
Okay.
not just rotating and rotating and rotating.
You're able to see, Julian?
Yes, just give me 10 seconds. I'm not able to make the screen big enough. 1 second then.
Or Suresh, you can send an email and we can run through from Julian's computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should be now good now.
1 second. I lost it, Suresh. I had it and I lost it.
Okay. Just check now.
Yeah, I got it back again. Okay, so
I think you need to share that window, I think, once you're ready.
yeah, I can share it. It's very tiny. Okay, I'll share it. Just live with it. It's a little tiny, Mario, if you don't mind.
Oh,
Do you know how to close this left panel, Suresh? Do you know how to close this?
Yeah, that's all.
No, it doesn't.
This should be fine, Julian.
Okay.
Here, see the major part of the content.
Okay. All right. So can you see this, Mario?
sí. Yes, I can see it. So, Gus, ¿ustedes pueden ver la pantalla de China, de Julián? Es un poco pequeña.
En Skype.
Sí.
Join me.
La misma...
No, porque me fui. Dame un segundito.
Can you see it, Mario? Can you see it?
I can see it without problem.
Okay, great. Okay, so yes, Gustavo is back. Fine, we got him. Perfect. So Mario, if it's visible, we'll try to. Okay, fine. I think it's a little better now, right?
It's a lot better now.
Yeah. So, yes.
I will put all these on the top. Okay, Mario. So go ahead.
Yeah. This has got two sheets for now, Mario and Gustavo. The first sheet is about all the feedbacks we received from our LATAM team so far on various dates. We have captured the date and the status. Some of it we have closed already. I mean, development closed. It's still LATAM team can go through it and confirm whether it is really closed or not. And the other pieces on all the open items which we have kept so far, all the dates and when it has come, what screen it is, all those things has been.
So how many sheets we got there?
We just got two sheets
Two
here,
sheets.
Mario. One is just two sheets. One is all the LATAM team feedback. Okay. The other is about
Defects.
not actually defects. Defect is the third sheet which we need to add.
Okay.
But
The other is related
Yeah.
to the functionality of the
this is-
right?
exactly. The functionality that can be there and those stuffs. The first one is purely the feedback, LATAM feedback. This one, whatever we are seeing now.
So a lot of the items have been included, Mario. There are still some items which are open. So that's what it is. So they gave some feedback in our calls. Remember, we used to have
Yes,
those daily
yes.
calls, and we used to get feedback. So some of those items have already been coded into Silas.
For example, this set.
So
This
these
set
items.
is already coded. Okay.
So do you see the status marked as closed on the right hand side, Mario? So those items are already coded into CLAS. Now for the other items, they are still pending because they came late. So we are still in the progress of doing them. So.
Yeah. Julian, there is a right side scroll bar to you. Can you scroll it down?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you should see the
Furthermore?
name of the sheets below, right? You see
Yeah.
LATAM
Yeah.
and open
Yeah.
items. Okay.
Yes. Go to the bottom.
Okay,
most.
yes,
Yeah.
say the guys, let me transmit it to Gustavo. Gus, esta
Sure,
lista
sure.
que está aquí tiene dos tabs nada más en Excel, ¿verdad? El que dice LATAM básicamente son todo el feedback que se ha dado en estas reuniones que hemos tenido. Que mucho, si te das cuenta, ellos tienen un tipo aquí que básicamente donde reconocen que es un defecto o reconocen que es que es una adición, ¿no? Una mejora. Eso es irrelevante a este punto, Gus, ¿ok? Ahora, la otra lista que dice Open Items es la que básicamente tiene la funcionalidad que se ha omitido, o sea que no está lista todavía, que sabemos que tiene que estar ahí, que no está listo. Se falta un tercer tab, que es el tab de los defectos, o sea, defectos puros de funcionalidades que existen ya, pero que todavía no se han cerrado. ¿Entiendes? Y es un poco confuso porque fíjate que también hay defectos en la primera lista, ¿no? Pero
Y entonces, ¿cuál es el archivo? ¿El que vamos a recibir es este archivo o el que tiene el tercer tab?
no, el que tiene el tercer tab se va a adicionar
O sea
el que
que
tiene
no va-
el tercer tab. So, Julian,
Está bien, entonces...
pero sí, la diferencia entre los defectos que aparecen en el primer tab este que dice LATAM y el tercer tab que se va a adicionar es que estos defectos que han aparecido aquí han aparecido producto de las reuniones que hemos tenido, ¿no? ¿Entiendes? Pero al final todo es defecto, ¿ok? ¿Verdad? Entonces el
Perfecto.
tab del medio que dice Open Items, ¿verdad? Es básicamente relacionado con la funcionalidad que sabemos que hay que implementar que no está terminada todavía, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, esto mismo que quiso mostrar Julián al final de cuando tú haces clic en la prefactura que te saque el detalle de cada de la línea, de las líneas de la prefactura, ¿no? O sea, qué cantidades por tipo de desecho, ese tipo de cosas, ¿no? Se está trabajando pero no está terminado para el día de hoy.
Yes, Suresh, can you go back to the previous tab? The LATAM tab, yeah. So, yeah. So this is actually not defects, Mario. These are open items. These are the observations on the system. Whatever defects are, they are in a separate tab.
Yeah, you see,
They are outside the
defect.
Yes.
Okay.
Those tabs, so there is a separate thing for there is a separate thing for the internal defects, external defects, whichever have been added to TFS and things like that. This is more on the discussions that we had. Remember?
One more will come into this sheet, Mario. That is the third one. Once after Basha confirms it, we will paste it.
You know, I would suggest that we put all defects in one sheet, right? All suggestions from a team in Latin in another sheet, and the open items, which is basically the functionality that is not ready yet, right? In another sheet, so we have a pretty clear separation of concerns. You know.
Okay. Right.
So the separation right now is from the source, Mario. So whatever came from LATAM is in one sheet. Whatever came between our discussions, you, me, Ankit, etc., is in another sheet. And whatever came from the testing team will be in the third sheet. So there is a separation of concerns. It's just that it's not sliced the way you
can do that.
So.
I mean, at least we know how can we classify this, right?
Yes.
Yes,
The way to classify it, the way is so that those drop downs will help you to a lot more playing around.
Okay.
You can filter out, which are done, which are not done, and things like that. So.
Perfect. So básicamente.
Julian, can you scroll slightly less?
Slightly up or down?
Down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is what. These are all the three sheets we are going to have.
So básicamente, Gus, la clasificación que hemos hecho era donde dice OpenIron es la funcionalidad que todavía no está completa, ¿verdad? TFS Box son los boxes que han venido del testing interno del equipo, de Bacha y Chandru, o sea, la gente que trabaja en el testing. Y la otra categoría es LATAM, que básicamente son los defectos, o como le llamemos, al final son problemas, ¿verdad? Enhancement, defectos, clarificaciones, que han venido de las discusiones que hemos tenido nosotros.
Pero nunca cambios.
¿Eh? No.
Le podemos poner cualquier nombre.
Cosa que hay que resolver, Gus. Okay? Lo dice type es básicamente por un problema de clasificarlo nosotros, pero al final todo esto hay que resolverlo. ¿Okay? Entonces, esta es la lista, esta es la clasificación que hemos hecho, ¿no? O sea, es basado en de dónde ha venido. O sea, ha venido de LATAM, de las discusiones que hemos tenido nosotros, ha venido internamente del conjunto de testers en Gaps, o ha venido de funcionalidades que nosotros sabemos que por diseño falta, ¿verdad? Implementar. O sea, falta por completar.
Perfecto.
Esa es la clasificación que tenemos hasta ahora, que es esta lista que está aquí. Entonces, esto es lo que realmente es lo que tenemos que validar. O sea, y fíjate que ahí en el estatus, hay un estatus que dice cerrado, si dice abierto. Lo que dicen cerrado, lógicamente, ustedes son los que dicen si está cerrado. O sea, lógicamente, es una forma de marcarlo internamente, pero al final es lo que yo siempre trato de repetir. Ustedes son los que dicen si está cerrado o no está cerrado, si está funcionando o no está funcionando. ¿Okay? Pero lógicamente eso lo pueden hacer después que tengamos el sistema UAT, que es lo que se está haciendo ahora.
Perfecto. Eso, la publicación en el UAT, ¿va a quedar para la semana que viene o va a ser hoy?
So, Suresh, the UAT publication is happening today, right?
One second, yep. Mario. This is having some issues. One second.
Dame un segundito, Gus. No, ha de ser hoy, Gus. Hoy es la publicación. Donde no va a ser, hoy va a ser en Brasil, ¿no? Pero que una vez que esté restablecido,
no.
Nada más que tenemos que mover.
Está entendido. Está entendido eso, Mario. Está entendido.
Yeah, Mario. Sorry.
So, Suresh, Gustavo is asking if the publication in UAT is going to be happening today.
Yes, Mario. Today we are going to send the email along with this spreadsheet which you are seeing in the screen, and the URL and the credentials, everything.
Perfecto. So es hoy, Gus, ¿ok? Te reafirmo que, como te dije anteriormente, es hoy.
Perfecto.
And now Julian is getting ready for taking the remote desktop of the other machine where we can show the report, pre-invoice report. Just give us some time, Mario.
So, una cosa que Julián va a hacer ahora, ¿te acuerdas cuando él hizo el clic en la prefactura, verdad? Que no, o sea, que esto no está funcionando en la máquina del developer, no está funcionando en el sitio que él está usando para hacer el demo, ¿verdad? Eso es lo que quiere mostrarte, ese último paso del detalle de la prefactura, ¿verdad? Te pido un minutico nada más, Gus, ¿ok?
Sí. Ahí está, ya le di la solución.
So, Mario, I'm sharing my screen. This is the developer's local environment.
Ok, este es el ambiente del developer. Ok, Gus.
Right, so this is, just let me refresh it once in case you've got time.
Fíjate que dice,
Mario,
fíjate que dice localhost. Adelante, Eric, bienvenido. Te perdimos por un minuto.
No, estuve presente en todo momento.
Ah, perfecto.
Me tengo que retirar 5 minutos, 10 minutos, Mario. Voy a resolver un problema que tengo y me vuelvo a conectar con
Perfecto.
ustedes.
De todas formas, recuerda que yo voy a
Perfecto,
publicar el
Eric.
link en YouTube, ¿ok?
Perfecto, Mario. Sí, de todos modos,
So proof that it's the developer's local environment, Mario. Everything works slowly. And we will just launch it. So, alright, so it's the same thing. We will launch it. Let me go to that search. So it's the same data basically we had earlier. So these are the same 4 records that we had earlier, right, Mario?
Perfecto.
So this was the 940 that we had, those 3 manifests. So let me select it, let me try to generate it. And if all goes well, it will come. And okay, so it's come right here. Can you see this,
Yep.
Mario? Over here, so we click it and we will get to see the details that we are looking at.
File PDF.
Why is taking that long? Shouldn't take that long, right?
No, that is local.
Sorry.
It's a developer environment, Mario.
Oh,
It has
okay.
to take time. He's got hundreds of applications running, so
Oh, okay.
things. Right. So this is it. So this was the customer. This was the. This is actually we used a sample for Chile, Mario. That is the problem. But because we just used it, so don't worry about the thing. It's just to show that we can pull the data from there to here. So there will be some defects and some things are not right in this. So that part. So we'll work on that one. But generally, this is the expectation. So we were able to pull the line of business. We were able to pull the credit value. Whatever COIT was entered is coming, but the label is wrong. But it's still the same COIT which we entered earlier. And this one, so all that is fine.
So, Gus, esto que está aquí, ¿verdad? Está generado por una infraestructura que puede trabajar con cualquier template del reporting services, ¿verdad? Este simplemente es un ejemplo que se usa, por ejemplo, para las prefacturas, ¿no? Pero también esta misma infraestructura se usa para cualquier tipo de PDF, ya sea relacionado con manifiesto, ya sea relacionado con... y eso lo vamos a ver, ¿no? De cómo funciona la infraestructura esta. Es lo que simplemente quería mostrar de que, funciona, ¿no? Lógicamente, el reporte tiene que mejorarse tal vez un poquito más, o sea, hay algunos labels, tal vez el layout, pero ya...
Sí, pero lo importante son los datos. Después cada país yo creo que lo va a acomodar.
Y eso es lo que yo le insisto a ellos.
Lo importante son los datos.
Tener el proceso como tal, sólido, de forma tal que cualquier reporte se pueda hacer,
Sí.
que ustedes puedan generar, pueda ser incorporado, integrado en Silo fácilmente. Y eso es lo que existe hoy en día. Y vamos a verlo como parte de las secciones estas que estamos teniendo por la tarde. Vamos a ver cómo funciona la estructura esta. Que es basado en lo que presentó Piyush en Chennai. ¿Recuerda la demostración que él hizo? Es basado en ese
Sí,
concepto.
lo que no... Mario, acá lo que no veo acá en la prefactura son el detalle, bueno, que también es seguro que es posible, el detalle de los manifiestos y cómo llega a un total de 940 con un monto de 865,90. O sea, la diferencia entre el monto y el total, ¿cuál sería?
Sí, Julian, I think the question from Gustavo is very specific to this report, right? Why the amount is 865, but the total is 940 and it's only one item,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's some bug over there, Mario. There is some bug. So,
Ya,
no, I know.
existe
There are,
algún problema con
so,
el query del report, ¿ok? Gus,
so there are four bugs, Mario.
Perfecto.
So there are some-
No. Julian, excuse me, Mario, yo pensé que estábamos
No.
calculando
Sí,
impuestos.
claro.
Solo era para recordarles que no debemos calcular impuestos, era por eso.
Yeah, well, Gustavo made the point because he thought for a minute that we were including taxes, you know. Remember, we don't deal with taxes at all. I said, no, it's just perhaps a problem with the query or something, but... Okay.
Bug, Gustavo, bug.
Sí, porque
No
recuerda
change.
cómo
No change,
para
Julian.
cualquier tipo de documento
No.
Gus, se genera un fichero con la herramienta de Reporting Services que se llama Report Builder o puede ser Bits, un plugin de Visual Studio. Se genera el reporte, lo que genera ese reporte un fichero XML. Se importa ese fichero XML en Silos. Entonces Silos tiene el engine, tiene una referencia al engine como tal de Reporting Services que se encarga de coger ese XML, se encarga de hacer un parsing interno, sacar los queries, ejecutar los queries y básicamente hacer lo mismo que hace Reporting Services pero de una forma local en Silos, sin necesidad de tener el servicio de SSRS ni nada de eso. O sea, cualquier reporte puede ser interpretado por Silos en estos momentos. Lo único que hay que configurar es un link y eso lo vamos a ver en las sesiones que vamos a tener, que estamos teniendo, ¿no?
Muy bien.
Él simplemente quería mostrarte de que por lo menos es funcional, ¿no? O sea, lógicamente hay problemas, por ejemplo, en el query aquí, tal vez el layout, tal vez atributos que falten. Este es un template que se tomó de Chile.
No, pero es lo que yo te decía, el layout de todos los formularios van a variar de un país a otro. Lo importante es, como nos decía Piuche, le mandamos todos los datos, que después cada país tome los que va a necesitar.
Yeah, so, Julian, Gustavo is making sure that we understand something very important. He doesn't care too much about the exact layout. He cares more about the common data set for each of the entities. For example, manifest, right? There's a data set, right? That supposedly every single manifest should be sharing, right?
Correct. So for that, we will need a little bit of help from Gustavo, Mario. What we are doing is we are going to sit down and we are going to create a data set for what we know. So we know that, okay, for a pre-invoice, we need the billing account, we need the legal entity name, we need this. We'll have a list. But since there might be other pre-invoices which need other data, that final compilation we will need to sit down together and finish it off. You understand? We know certain columns, we don't know all the columns.
Yes.
So that will be driven by how, say for example, if there's a specific manifest somewhere which uses some specific field, we don't know that. So that will have to be, that's a joint exercise which we will have to do. So we will do the groundwork, we will start the initial setup, and for the finalization of the list, we will have to sit down with Ganesh, the DB guy, and each of the countries of LATAM and fix those, finalize that data set, what we were doing. So we need to do that together.
So Gus, lo que me dice Julián, ya realmente se está haciendo en este momento un trabajo exhaustivo en esto, pero en algún momento vamos a tener que tener alguna ayuda de ustedes de forma tal que no... Esa es la filosofía que se está llevando, ¿ok? Tener un dataset común. Y que en algún momento tal vez vamos a tener alguna necesidad de tener alguna validación de parte de ustedes para estar seguros de que no estamos omitiendo nada, ¿verdad? Como data común a todas las entidades, por ejemplo la entidad manifiesto, la entidad yo le digo que sí, que eso no hay problema, pero la infraestructura independientemente del reporte, ¿verdad? Va a funcionar y existe y es bien flexible. O sea, cuando lo veamos vamos a hacer o sea, ustedes se van a dar cuenta que es bien flexible. O sea, lo que quiero decir es que aunque no tengamos un dataset completo, ¿verdad? Siempre vamos a poder abarcar todos los casos. Porque trabaja con cualquier tipo de reporte. O sea, que se haya hecho con SSRS, ¿no? Con el ID de SSRS.
Perfecto, Mario.
Perfect, Julian. Anything else, Julian?
No, nothing else, Mario, as of now. Nothing
Okay,
else.
I'm gonna stop the recording right now. Okay.
Sure, Mario. Sure.
Suresh, if you wanna say something to